Hey crypto friends, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. So today is the day that many of my subscribers have all been waiting for. I am going to show you guys 60 plus altcoins that have the potential to do 50x or more in the long term, okay? Yes, I said I'm going to show you 60 plus altcoins, okay? And for those of you who are new to the channel, if you are interested in trading and would like to try the same exchange that I use, feel free to go ahead and try out the MEXC crypto exchange. You can find a link to it in the description below this video. I personally love this exchange simply because, one, they don't mess with all the BS drama that all the big mainstream exchanges deal with on a regular basis, like Binance and KuCoin and Kraken and stuff like that, okay? These guys kind of like sit behind everything and kind of just, deal with their own little bubble, which is kind of nice. It's awesome. In addition to that, I'm a huge altcoin trader, and they have over 1,500 altcoins for me to trade at any given time, and they allow me to trade crypto futures as well. So overall, I've been using MEXC for about 3 years now, and I absolutely love it and have never had any issues with it whatsoever. So again, if you want to give it a try, check out the link in the description below this video. Other than that, you guys, before I actually do go ahead and get started with this video, I do want to point out a couple things, okay? So first of all, this video is only about the price potential of these coins, okay? It is not about the projects themselves, all right? If I did that and talked about the projects themselves, the video would probably end up being 4 to 5 hours long, okay? And nobody wants to sit through that, all right? Second of all, for those of you who don't know me very well, I'm not a hype type of YouTuber. I don't do hype, okay? I'm a realistic type of person, so if you're into hype and you want to watch somebody who's going to hype up a bunch of random coins, hey, you're going to have to go watch somebody else or something like that. You're going to have to go watch Moon Carl or someone, all right? That's just not me, all right? I only talk about coins that are built on top of top-tier ecosystems that are active projects that have an actual use case, okay? So none of these coins that I'm going to be showing you today are coins that are meme coins or any kind of random BS coin that, came out, yesterday or something like that, okay? All right, and lastly, before we actually start getting onto prices and stuff like that, and I start showing you these coins, this video is going to be extremely long, okay? This video is not going to be in the realm of, 8 to 15 minutes like most of my videos. I would fully expect this video might be an hour long, maybe even 2 hours long. I don't even know. We'll see what goes on here. So, hey, go ahead, grab some Gatorade and some popcorn and enjoy, seeing some prices, you guys. I got water just in case, all right? So let's dive in, all right? So the thing here is, you guys, is I'm going to be showing you all of these different coins, all right? But the thing here is I'm going to be going through 60 different altcoins, okay? 60 plus different altcoins. So I'm going to be kind of moving a little bit fast here, all right? The one thing that I definitely need you guys to keep in mind here when I'm going through these coins is I'm seeing if these coins can do at least a 50x in the long term, okay? And I am basing this off of the fact of, I'm basing these prices off of overall market cap levels if the price did reach those levels in the long-term future, okay? So that is kind of what I'm basing these prices off of in the long term, okay? So the first, as you guys can clearly see here, I've got my tabs open here. The first coins I'm going to be starting off with today to show you are going to be metaverse and P2E or blockchain gaming type of tokens, okay? Or tokens that have to do, tokens that have to, something to do with, the overall metaverse, P2E, or blockchain gaming industry, okay? So here's the thing about metaverse and P2E games long term, you guys. Okay, these types of coins are going to explode in the long term, in my personal opinion, because the overall gaming industry grows more and more year after year, and hey, realistically, hey, people want to make money, and if they can make money from playing games, they're going to end up, moving into the metaverse and P2E gaming world long term, okay? So that's personally where I'm getting off on metaverse and P2E games. So let's go ahead and actually get started here. So as you guys can see, I've got a ton of coins to show you just in metaverse and P2E coins. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's dive in. The very first coin I'm going to show you is going to be Gala Games, okay? Now everybody knows of this one, all right? So let's go ahead, check and see it can do 50x. All right, so we got a 0.2 cent. We got about a 2.5 cent coin right now. So we'll go with roughly 2 cents right now. Or no, we'll go to 2.5 cents. And we'll go ahead and multiply this by 50. If it did a 50x, it would be a $1.25 coin. Now we will go ahead and multiply this by circulating supply, okay? So multiply it by about 7 billion tokens. As you guys can clearly see here, the total supply is about 35 billion. 35 billion. But realistically, right now we're dealing with a $7 billion circulating supply. And in the long term, if this does happen, obviously circulating supply is probably going to be higher than where it's at right now. But for the sake of this video, I'm just probably going to use roughly 7.5 billion. Okay, so we will do 7.5 billion, and we get a market cap of roughly $9.3 billion market cap in the long term if it reaches a $1.25 price. Okay, now realistically, this can happen. Okay, we've already seen Gala kind of shoot up quite a bit in the past, so realistically, I can see this happening long term, especially with how popular this coin is. As you guys can clearly see, this whole this entire platform has grown immensely. There's a lot of people behind it. There's a lot of people who love this platform. There's a lot of people who are anticipating on the price going up in the long term as well. So overall, Gala Games definitely can do a 50x long term, okay? So next up, we have Alien Worlds, okay? So Alien Worlds, or TLM, as you guys can clearly see, it's another one that's got a ton of people that are, interested in it as well. All right, so let's check this out. We've got a 1.5 cent coin here. So 1.5. We will go ahead and multiply this one by 50, and what do we got here? We got a 75-cent TLM coin. All right, now we go ahead and multiply this by circulating supply. Again, I like to be safe rather than sorry, so instead of 3.27 billion, I'm going to multiply it by 4 billion, okay? Just to make things easy, and I like to be safe rather than sorry, so multiply it by that, and we get a $3 billion market cap, all right? Again, you guys, definitely attainable in the long-term future, okay? Especially as the blockchain gaming industry grows in the long term, okay? So clearly, realistically, this one is another one that can easily probably do 50x in the long-term future, all right? So next up, we have got UFO Gaming, okay? This one's kind of interesting, all right? As you guys can clearly see, the max supply, circulating supply, it's weird, but let's check this out, all right? So let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. Okay, we'll deal with that. Just to let you guys know, I cannot stand projects that have prices like this, I mean, I'll deal with it, but, it sucks having to put this in all the time. So we will go with we'll just go with 0.14 since it's pretty much there. And we will multiply this by 50, and we get a coin of 0.00007 instead, all right? So we will go ahead and multiply this by its circulating supply of 1,000 million billion trillion. Its circulating supply of, see, this is what I don't like about CoinMarketCap. I don't know why they have a B here. Clearly it's not billion, it's clearly trillion. I mean, you can clearly see that in the max supply here, 1,000 million billion trillion. So we've got 25.75 trillion, all right? So we'll go ahead and multiply this by 25.757 trillion. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, that's enough. And we get a market cap of roughly $1.8 billion, you guys. Okay, so again, this one very easily attainable. Realistically, I can see a lot of these gaming projects, or a lot of these little small cap altcoins. I can easily see these, especially these ones being built on top tier ecosystems, reach market cap levels of at least, $3 to $5 billion in the long-term future, you guys, realistically, okay? So realistically, when we're looking at a $1 billion market cap long-term, I mean, I can easily see that being possible. I mean, I don't see how that wouldn't be possible, especially as the space grows as a whole long-term, okay? Again, we're not looking at short-term prices. We're looking at complete long-term, okay? So next up, you guys, we clearly got this one at another, simple, easy 50x, UFO Gaming, definitely. Now we will go ahead and move on to the next one, which we've got Starlink or Starl. Now, a lot of you guys have heard me talk about this project a lot in the past. I personally love this one, but let's check out the price potential. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got 2736. 2736 multiplied by 50, and we got a, well, 0.0001368 coin. Now we'll go ahead and multiply it by, let's see here, 1,000 million billion trillion. Wait, is that trillion? 1,000 million billion trillion. 10 trillion. Okay, multiply this by 10 trillion. 10 trillion tokens. That would be right there, 1,000, million, billion, trillion. Okay. And we've got a market cap of, again, $1.3 billion. All right. Again, easily attainable long term, you guys. Very easily 50x. All right. Next up, we've got Mobox. Okay. Mobox is one that's already popular. As you guys can clearly see, we've got over 2.1 million people interested in this project, you guys. That's quite a bit. All right, so let's check this out. We've got a 46 cents right now. We'll multiply this by, what are we doing? Oh yeah, multiply it by 50 cents. 50 cents, 50x. We get a $23 Mobox coin. All right, we'll go ahead and multiply this by 1,000, million, billion. Well, not 1 billion because we're not even close to there. Multiply it by, we're just going to go with 1,000 million. We'll go with 200 million. I know it's not at 200 million right now, but again, just being safe than sorry. So we'll go ahead and multiply by 200 million, and we get a market cap of $4.6 billion. And considering this one's very popular, you guys, I can realistically see this one easily reaching this level at some point in time. Again, this is still under that level that I personally think it could go to of $5 billion, so that's good to see as well. All right. So next up, we have got Gods Unchained. This is a pretty popular one as well. All right. So we'll take 23 cents. Multiply it by 50, and what do we got here, you guys? We got $11.5, or sorry, $11.50. We'll go ahead and multiply this by, we'll go with 1,000 million. We will go with 200 million here for circulating supply. And we get a market cap of $2.3 billion. Again, easily attainable long term, especially with how popular it is. All right, next up, we have got Sweat Economy. This is a newer one, okay? You can clearly see it's got a very low market cap right now, but a lot of people are interested in it, you know, quite a few actually. So that is nice to see. So we will take the 0.0128 cent coin right now and multiply that by 50. And we get a 64-cent coin, and we will go ahead and multiply this by 1,000 million billion. It's at roughly 2 billion right now. So we'll go with roughly 2.5 billion. So 2.5 billion, 1,000 million billion, and we get a market cap of roughly $1.6 billion long term. Again, easily attainable, long term future thinking. Okay. All right, next up, we have got Yield Guild Games. This is another very popular one, as you guys can clearly see. All right, so we will go ahead and take, it's roughly 23 cents right now, so we're just going to use 23. And we already kind of did one that was 23 cents not too long ago, but we'll just do it again. Or actually, that was the last one, I think, $11.50 again. But with the circulating supply being different, let's see what this would be at. So we are currently at a circulating supply of 116 million. We will go ahead and use 150 million just to be safe rather than sorry, because you never know. 11.5 times 150 million, and we get a $1.725 billion market cap. Again, definitely attainable long term. All right. So that is why Yield Guild Games. Next up, we have got Phaeton Arena. All right, this is actually a fun game. I personally play this game, and it's actually a lot of fun. And it's on Android and iOS, so you can go ahead and play it whenever you want. It's a lot of fun. If you're into, like, you know, those types of games. All right, it kind of reminds me of Clash of Clans and Clash Royale and stuff like that. So it's kind of like that. If you're into that sort of thing, give it a try. It's a lot of fun. All right, so we'll take 5 cents and multiply it by 50, and we get a $2.50 coin. We'll go ahead and multiply this one by 1,000 million, 150 million. So we'll go ahead and multiply that by 150, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we get a market cap of $375 million. Okay, this is one that can easily do more than a 50x long term. Okay, we can clearly see it in the numbers alone. Okay, as you guys can clearly see, it's already got a super low market cap right now. At a $2.50 coin, it will definitely reach a market cap level of roughly $375 million, which is less than $1 billion. Okay, if this coin reached a market cap of roughly, I don't know, like 1 billion or even 2 billion in the long term, this coin could potentially be a roughly, you know, 100 to 150x at some point. Okay, so this one definitely want to take a look at. All right, so Phaeton Arena. All right, so next up we have got Avagachi, or GHST. All right, so we'll take $1.05, multiply that by 50, and we get a $52.50 coin. Multiply this by its total supply of 46,000 right now at the time of me filming. 46,860,476. That's such a dumb number. And we got a roughly a $2.4 billion market cap. So again, we're about half of that level of $5 billion that I personally think it could reach long term here. So there we go. All right, so next up after Avocacci, you guys, we have got Splinterlands, or SPS. This is a popular one as well, okay? So we got a 3-cent token, multiply that by 50, and we've got a $1.50 coin. Go ahead and multiply this by 1,000 million. We're at roughly 852 million right now. So we'll just go ahead with 1 billion tokens for the sake of this video. So as you guys can know, we can all do math. 1 times 1.5, that's going to be roughly a $1.5 billion market cap. See, $1.5 billion market cap. Again, definitely attainable long term, especially with how popular it is. All right. Next up, we have got Blocktopia. All right, this is another very popular one as well, as you guys can clearly see, and it's in the top 500 as well. All right, so let's check this out. We have got a 0.002, oops, one too many zeros, 2-cent coin. Multiply this by 50, and we got a 10-cent Blocktopia coin. So we'll go ahead and multiply this one by, let's see, what is this supply? 1,000, million, billion, 200 billion for a total supply. We are at 17.5 billion right now. So for the sake of this video, I'll go with 20 billion, okay? So we would multiply this by 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20 billion. And we get a market cap of roughly $2 billion long term, all right? Again, underneath that $5 billion mark that I think it could reach in the long term. So there we go, another simple 50x long term. And then we've got Star Atlas next. This one is a very highly anticipated one. A lot of people are very excited for Star Atlas. They have got some very good graphics that they've been posting around on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm personally waiting for it too. This is an awesome looking one, especially their spaceships and stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. 0.0025. Multiply this by 50. God, I love being a nerd. This stuff is fun. Okay, and we got roughly a 12-cent coin, 12.5 cents. And we'll go ahead and multiply this by, and we're at 9.8 billion right now. We'll go ahead and multiply by 12 billion. So multiply by 12 billion, 1,000, million, billion, and we have got a $1.5 billion market cap. Again, definitely attainable long term. All right. So next up, we have got Altura. All right. This one's got a super low market cap, so this one's going to be very nice to see as well. So we got 0.0095, and we'll go ahead and multiply this by 50. And we got a 47.5 cent coin. All right, so we will go ahead and multiply this one by, we are at 625 million tokens right now. We'll multiply by 700 million. All right, so we'll multiply this by 700 million. And we get a market cap of $332 million. Again, this is one that could do potentially a 100 to 150x long term, okay? So again, this one is already right now super low market cap. Definitely has potential to rise even further long term. As you guys can clearly see, it's not even close to $1 billion at 50x, okay? So if you're looking for super small cap tokens to invest in for the long term, this is a good potential one, okay? All right, next up, we have got Aurora, okay? Now, this one, this one's a little skeptical, but the potential is there. It's just a little bit skeptical, okay? As you guys can clearly see, there's a lot of people that are interested in it. It's been around for a while already. It's definitely an NFT gaming project pretty much on the Solana blockchain, and that's kind of the reason why I say it's a little iffy, because, it's on Solana. And yeah, so let's check this out, all right? So 0.47, we'll go ahead and multiply this by 50, and we got a $23.50 coin. Then we go ahead and multiply this by 1,000 million. We'll multiply it by 10 million. And let's see what we get here. Whoops. $23. Wait, what was that? 0.47 times 50. Yeah, it was 23.50. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and multiply this by 10 million. And we get a market cap of roughly 235 million. So again, if this one did take off in the long term, this is more of a lottery ticket type play. Okay, one because it kind of deals with Solana in a way. So it's a little bit risky, but realistically, you know, at 50x, it would pretty much be, it wouldn't even be $250 million. So realistically, if this did take off long term, I mean, you could potentially see roughly 100 to 150x on this one as well. Okay, so there we go. We've got Aurori, and next up we have got Phantasma. Okay, so let's check out Phantasma. We've got 0.16 cents. We'll go ahead and multiply this by 50, and we got an $8 Phantasma coin. All right. For some reason, I think about the Tasmanian Devil when I think about this name. I don't know why, but it just keeps coming to my head. I don't know why. But anyway, so we got an $8 coin, and we'll go ahead and multiply this by its circulating supply of 107 million. Sorry, it's like 108 million, we can clearly see. But that's what it is at the time of me filming this video. So actually, instead, we're going to go ahead and multiply by 110 million. 110 million, and we get a market cap of right underneath that $1 billion mark. So we're about $880 million. So there we go. We've got Phantasma Soul. And next up, we've got Guild of Guardians. All right, this one's got a super low market cap as well. So this one will probably, looks like it could probably do pretty good also. So we got 0.07 cents. And we will go ahead and multiply this by 50. $3.50 coin. And we will go ahead and multiply this by roughly 1,000 million, 310 million right now. We'll go with 350 million. So 350, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we get a $1.225 billion market cap, okay? Still, again, you guys, definitely attainable long term, okay? So that's Guild of Guardians. And next up, we've got D-Race, okay? This is a pretty popular one as well. So we've got a 12-cent coin right now. We'll multiply this by 50. We get a $6 coin, all right? We'll multiply this by, let's see, total supply is 120 million right now. Right now, we've got a circulating supply of 80.4 million. So we'll go with roughly 85 million, okay? So 85 million, and we get a market cap of $510 million in the long term. Okay, so that's about half of where I could, that's about half of just $1 billion. So technically, this one could potentially do 100x in the long-term future as well, okay? So next up, after D-Race, we have got Wilder World, all right? So Wilder World, we've got a 24-cent coin, multiply that one by 50, and we've got a $12 coin. We'll go ahead and multiply this by, let's see, we've got 500 million here for max supply, and we'll just go ahead and multiply it by 100 million. 100 million, and we get a market cap of roughly $1.2 billion. So again, still within that range, you guys. All right, so that one, 50x for sure. And next up, we've got Rev, okay? Rev is a pretty cool one. It is a platform for pretty much like blockchain racing games, and it is pretty darn cool, to be honest with you. If you're a racing fan, go ahead and check it out, all right? So we've got a 0.01, and we're just going to go with 4. And we'll multiply it by 50, and we get a 70-cent coin, all right? So we'll go ahead and multiply this one by, let's see here, 1,000 million billion. Wow, this one's going to have a lot of potential. Current circulating supply is 1,000 million, 278 million. We'll just go with 300 million for circulating supply. So 300 million. Holy smokes, you guys. This one's got a lot of upside potential, okay? This is literally like 1/5 of $1 billion. So realistically, I mean, this one, judging by this one could definitely do, let's see, your 50, 100, 150, 200, this one could like do 250x long term if it reached market cap levels of $1 billion in the long term future, okay? So, I mean, this one's got some pretty darn good potential, okay? Just to be curious here, I'm curious where you can buy this one, like where you can all buy it. All right, so you can buy Rev token on KuCoin, Uniswap, SushiSwap. These are all decentralized exchanges, obviously. PancakeSwap. Okay, we got Gate.io. You can also get it on MEXC. Some of the bigger name places as well. Huobi, MEXC, like I was just saying. So that's nice to see as well. All right. So again, huge upside potential for this one for sure. All right. So next up, we've got Crypto Blades. This was a pretty popular one as well. So we'll take $1.24 and multiply this by 50. And we've got a $62 coin. Multiply this by, holy smokes, that is a small max supply, 1,000 million, 1 million. We're just going to multiply this by its max supply. So 1 million, that's pretty rare. And we got a $62 million token here. This one's got some massive potential as well, as you guys can clearly see. Okay, definitely some massive potential. All right, so Crypto Blades skill token for sure. All right. All right, next up we've got My DeFi Pet. This one's pretty popular among the Asian country, or among the Asian culture. So we'll go ahead and take 0.05 cents, multiply this by 50. We get a $2.50 coin. We'll go ahead and multiply this by 1,000 million. Current circulating supply is 16.1 million tokens right now. We'll go ahead with roughly 20 million tokens. So 20 million tokens. And as you guys can clearly see, this one is going to have a roughly, if it does a 50x, it's going to have a market cap of roughly $50 million. So realistically, this one could easily do a 200 to 500x at some point in the long-term future if it did take off. Okay, again, you guys, this video is not me guaranteeing or saying that, you know, these prices are going to happen for 100% positivity. This is just me showing you the potential that these coins could potentially have if they reach certain conditions and certain levels. Okay, so realistically, if this one reached, you know, levels of $1 billion at some point in time in the long term, this coin could easily have potential of at least, you know, 4 to 500x in the long term. Okay, so My DeFi Pet, definitely cool. All right. So Synverse, this one, again, one of my personal favorite ones. This is the metaverse that I'm honestly personally waiting for. I just love it. It's like GTA, but in the blockchain world. So it's kind of cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and check this out. 0.007, multiply this by 50, and we get a 35-cent coin. All right, we'll go ahead and multiply this by roughly 300 million for the circulating supply. So 300 million. And we get roughly a market cap of $105 million, okay? So realistically, if this one reached even a $1 billion market cap in the long term, it has the potential to easily do, you know, I mean, we're talking roughly here, like, again, 3 to 500x at some point in the long term, you guys. All right, and you can definitely get this one on MEXC as well. All right, so next up, we have got DeFi Kingdoms, all right? So we've got a 29-cent coin right now. We'll go ahead and multiply that by 50, and we got a $14.50 coin. Go ahead and multiply this by, let's see, its max supply is 500 million, and we've got a total circulating supply right now of 62.7 million tokens. So we'll go ahead and multiply this by roughly 75 million. So 75 million, and we get a market cap of roughly about $1.1 billion, okay? So realistically, this one could potentially do 50x as well. All right, next up is one of the newer ones that I started recently getting into called Nakamoto Games. They've got a great gaming platform. I personally love it, and they've got some great, you know, kind of arcade-ish type games coming out as well, so that's cool to see also. So let's see this one. 0.06, multiply that by 50, and we get a $3 coin, all right? Now we will go ahead and multiply this by, well, its max supply is 180 million tokens. We are at roughly 72.3 million right now, so we'll go ahead and multiply this by, we'll just go with 100 million. So 100 million, and we get roughly 300 million, okay? So this one definitely has the potential to do roughly 100 to 150x long term if it reached just $1 billion market cap in the long-term future, okay? But it definitely could do potentially, you know, 50x as well, obviously. So that's nice to see too. Lastly, for the Metaverse and P2E section, you guys, we have got Vulcan Forged, okay? So we've got a $3.23 coin, and we'll go ahead and multiply that by 50, and we got a $161.50 coin, all right? Now we'll go ahead and multiply this one by 1,000 million. We'll go ahead with roughly 30, we'll go with 30 million tokens. So 30 million tokens, and we get a market cap of roughly $4.845 billion. So that is roughly underneath that $5 billion market cap that I was talking about, okay? This one already has a pretty high market cap of roughly $87 million already. So realistically, yeah, we can clearly see it's still underneath that $5 billion level that I personally think it could go long term. But this one, I mean, it's already had, you know, some pretty big gains already. So, I mean, realistically, I mean, yeah, this one could eventually, you know, do it and do 50x, but it's, you know, I'd keep an eye on this one personally. But it definitely could probably do 50x long term, okay? Especially with how popular it is, all right? So, realistically, guys, we just got through all of those Metaverse and P2E coins. I don't even know how many there were in that one. I think there was probably like, I think a good probably 30 to 50% were probably of the coins I'm going to be showing you were probably in that section. So that's nice to see. All right. So now we are going to move on to coins that are within the Avalanche ecosystem. But first I need some water. All that talking really makes you thirsty. All right. So, whoops. All right, so let's move on to the Avalanche ecosystem. So again, like I was telling you guys, I like to choose coins. I like to invest in coins that are built on top of top tier ecosystems. So that's why you see all these coins up here on all these other ecosystems. Now you're probably wondering why there's none Cardano or Solana here, okay? One, Solana's kind of sketchy right now. And two, Cardano isn't very big yet as far as, ecosystem projects. So I just kind of put those both in the other section next to BNB here. So that is why you don't see any on their tabs specifically for them. All right. Same with all the other ones like Algorand or all the other mainstream ecosystems. All right. So we'll go ahead with the Avalanche tokens first. Okay. So as you guys can see here, I got quite a bit of them. So the first one I'm going to show you is going to be Bifrost. Okay. So Bifrost, we got a 6-cent coin right now, and we'll go ahead and multiply this by 50. We get a $3 coin. All right. We'll go ahead and multiply this one by roughly. And we'll go with 1.2 billion tokens. 3 times 1.2 billion. And we get a market cap of roughly $3.6 billion. So again, that's about roughly $1.4 billion less than my where I potentially think it could go of $5 billion long term. So that's nice to see. All right, so Bifrost, definitely a popular one. Next up, we have got Pools Finance, okay? Now, this one already has a tiny market cap, so this one could go far, all right? So we got a 0.95 cent token right now. We'll go ahead and multiply this one by 50. We get a $47.50 coin. Now, we'll go ahead and multiply this by, wow, look at that supply. Very, very, very tiny, okay? So we'll go ahead and multiply this by roughly we'll just go with 4. We'll just go with 4 million, okay? 4 million tokens. So 4 million tokens, and we get a market cap of roughly $190 million. So this one definitely has the potential to do 50x, possibly even more long term. All right. So next up, we have got Pangolin. Okay. So this one, we've got a 4-cent coin right now, and we'll go ahead and multiply this by 50, and we get a $2 coin. All right, 1,000 million, and we will go ahead and use 150 million for the circulating supply. So multiply this by 150 million, and we get a market cap of roughly $300 million long term. So realistically, again, this is another one that could potentially do roughly 100 to 150x long term, especially if it takes off. All right, so next up we have got Canary, or CNR. And we've got, let's see here, 0.0003, and we'll multiply this by 50, and we get a 1.5 cent coin. So we'll go ahead and multiply this one by roughly 120 million. I know it's at 98 million right now, but again, I like to be safe rather than sorry, like I was telling everyone. So we'll go ahead and multiply this by 120 million. 120 million, and we get a market cap of roughly $1.8 million. You guys, this one, if this one ever takes off, holy smokes. This one's got the chance to do like 500 to 1,000x, okay? Let's just check this out real quick. If we multiply this by 500, it'd be roughly, that would, even if it did a 500x, it would still be under a $1 billion market cap, okay? So this one definitely has potential to do, roughly 500 to 1,000x in the long-term future, if it ever takes off, all right? So definitely keep an eye on this one, all right? So next up, we have got Avaware, all right? So we'll go ahead and take this one, 0.001253, multiply it by 50, and we get a 6 cent coin, all right? Now we'll go ahead and multiply this by, let's see here, it's got a $4 million token supply right now, with a max supply of 10 million. So we're just gonna go with 5 million. So a 5 million token supply. We get a $313,000 market cap. Again, this is another one, super small cap altcoin, you guys. These super small cap altcoins are the ones you want. This one has enormous potential to take off. Imagine if this thing reached $1 billion market cap someday. I mean, guys, this would be insane. If this reached a $1 billion market cap, which is super tiny in the crypto world, if if it reached a $1 billion market cap, I mean, let's see where it could potentially go. If we multiply this by, if it did a 1000x, if it did a 1000x, it would still be under a $1 billion market cap. Still be way under if it did a 1000x. So realistically, you can make a ton of money on coins like this, you guys. All right, these are the types of small cap altcoins that I love to get excited about, okay? So we've got Avaware, and next up we will go ahead and check out, where are we? Avalanche, okay? So Avalanche, we've got 0.15, we got a 15-cent token right now. Multiplied by 50, we get a $7.50 coin. And multiply this by, we'll go with, it's at 14.5 right now. In the long term, it could be at 20. So we'll just go with 20. It seems like a decent number. Whoops. 7.5 times 20 million. And we get a market cap of roughly $150 million long term. Okay. Still way underneath that, even just that $1 billion mark, you guys. All right. So definitely 50x for sure on this one. Next up, we've got Vector Finance. All right, now there's no market cap listed, but that's fine. We'll check it out right now and see what it kind of is right now. Okay, obviously we don't have a way of knowing what it actually is right now that we can look up quickly. So we'll just go ahead and take 11 cents. We'll go ahead and multiply it by 30 million on its total supply right now. So 30 million, and what do we got here? We got a market cap probably of roughly around $3.3 million right now for a market cap. Okay, so $3.3 million where the market cap is probably right now. So we will go ahead and take 11 cents again, and we'll multiply it by 50. If it did 50x, it would be a $5.50 coin. We'll go ahead and multiply this by total supply right now is roughly 30 million. We'll go ahead and go with 40 million for the sake of this video. And you guys, we get a market cap of roughly $220 million in the long term. So again, that's roughly a fifth of $1 billion. So definitely could do a 50x in the long term. All right. So next up, we've got GMX. All right. As you guys can clearly see here, this is a popular one. This one has a huge market cap already, but let's go ahead and check this out. So we got a $49 coin, and we'll go ahead and multiply this by 50. I don't know if this one can do a 50x or not, based on my predictions. I don't know if this one's possible. So realistically, I don't know how this one slipped in here. So realistically, we got a if it did a 50x, it would be $2,450. Go ahead and multiply this by its circulating supply of, let's see, its supply is 1,000 million, 8.6 million. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. So we'll go with 8 million. We'll go with 8.2 million. So 8.2 million. And let's see here. We would have 1,000 million. We would have a $20 billion market cap. Okay, so I don't know. I apologize, you guys. I don't know how this one slipped in here. Yeah, that's very interesting. There's no way this one, I do not believe this one could do a 50x. Yeah, that would be a huge market cap. I mean, it obviously could, but, based on my personal... I mean, this video is supposed to be about small cap altcoins. This clearly is not a small cap altcoin. So I don't know how this one got slipped in here. I apologize. All right, so scratch that one. So next up, we've got Joe. Okay, so Joe is a pretty cool one. A lot of people are interested in this one, as you guys can clearly see. This one does have a fairly smallish market cap. Let's go ahead and check this out. So we got 16 cents right now, multiplied by 50, and it would be an $8 coin. So we go ahead and take this and we go ahead and multiply it by, we're just going to go with 350 million here, 350 million, and we get a market cap of roughly $2.8 billion, okay? So that's about a little more than half of, the $5 billion that it could potentially do long term. So that's nice to see, all right? So next up after Joe, we have got Ampleforth, all right? So Ampleforth, we've got a $1.14 token right now. We'll go ahead and multiply this by 50. And we get a $57 coin. Go ahead and multiply this by 1,000 million. We'll go with 50 million. 50 mil. Whoops, how did that happen? So we were at 1.14. Multiply that by 50, and we got a 57-cent coin. We'll go ahead and multiply that by 50 million. 50 million, and we get a $2.85 billion market cap. So again, underneath that $5 billion market cap level. All right. So Ampleforth, definitely. All right. So that does it for the Avalanche ecosystem as far as small cap altcoins go, or kind of small cap altcoins. Next up, we are going to move on to BNB and other, okay? So first one I'm going to show you guys is, well, I need another drink. As you guys can clearly see, this one is on the Neo. This one's pretty much on, Binance Smart Chain. But let's go ahead and check this out, okay? So we've got an 8-cent coin right now, 0.08. We'll go ahead and multiply this one by 50. We got a $4 coin. All right, we'll go ahead and multiply this by its circulating supply of 312. No, we'll just say 313 million. 313 million, and we get roughly a $1.25 billion market cap. Okay, so definitely 50x for sure, long term. All right. Next up, we've got bakery token. Okay, so we got 0.19 cents, and we'll multiply this by 50. And we get a $9.50 coin. Multiply this by, we're just going to go with 200 million here, by 200 million, and we get a $1.9 billion market cap. So again, underneath that level, and this is a very popular one, you guys, very, very, very popular. So this one definitely has that chance, all right, like a good chance. So next up, we've got Aptos. Okay, this is a newer one that's kind of raised some uncertainty here. This is a very popular coin right now, okay? So realistically, I know you're probably looking at this market cap and thinking there's no way that's going to do a 50x, but this is one of those coins this is one of those ecosystem coins that could, it's an ecosystem, just like, just like Polygon, just like Polygon and, Algorand and stuff. So realistically here, I mean, these ecosystem coins could potentially, they do have the chance to really rise like crazy in the long term, okay? Especially as more projects build on top of them as well. So keep that in mind also, okay? So we got a $4.66 coin. So realistically, this one could go a lot higher than, a $5 billion market cap in the long-term future, okay? Keep that in mind, all right? Because again, it is an ecosystem coin. So we'll go ahead and multiply this one by 50. If we did a 50x, it would be a $233 coin. We'll go ahead and multiply this by its, 150 million circulating supply. So we will go with 150 million. We get a market cap of roughly $34.9 billion, okay? But again, keep in mind that all of the other ecosystem coins, Ethereum, BNB, Cardano, Polygon, Polkadot, all of these other ecosystem coins, they've all made it very, very high in, previous bull markets. So, I mean, if these coins can all reach very high level market caps in a bull market, I see no reason why Aptos can't reach those levels in the long-term future as well, okay? And it's all a matter of how, how much the ecosystem gets used, I guess, and how many projects are being built on it and how popular, how much popularity it gains realistically. So honestly, guys, I mean, this one could do a 50x, but honestly, it's more risky than a lot of these other small cap altcoins that I've been showing you, okay? So keep that in mind as well. Again, I'm not a hype YouTuber, so I'm not sitting here trying to hype this coin up or anything like that. I'm being realist about it, and I'm, being honest about it. So just, be wary of it, okay? So next up, we have got Binary X, okay? As you guys can clearly see, this is another one with a pretty high market cap already, all right? But it is a very, very, very popular project, okay? So we'll go ahead and take 130, multiply it by 50, and we get $6,500 Binary X coin, all right? We'll go ahead and multiply this by its current circulating supply. We'll go with 3 million, so 3 million tokens. And we get a market cap of roughly $19.5 billion in the long term, all right? Again, this is another one of those projects that's very, very popular and could potentially reach these levels in the long-term future in a bull market, okay? So, again, this one's not a small cap one. So next up after this one, we are going to move on to, well, a small cap again. This is another one that I'm personally a huge fan of as well. So we've got a 5-cent coin right now, and we will go ahead and multiply by 50. We get a $2.50 coin. Now we will go ahead and multiply this by, and we'll go with 50 million. So 50 million circulating supply. And we've got a market cap of roughly $125 million. So again, this is another one that could end up shooting off and going, a good, much higher than 50x in the long-term future. All right. So next up, we have got Magic. All right. So Magic. So we've got a 36 cent coin. Multiply it by 50, and we've got an $18 coin. We'll go ahead and multiply this by roughly 100, and we'll go with 100. We'll go with 200 million, all right? So 200 million, and we've got roughly a $3.6 billion market cap. So again, underneath that $5 billion level. All right, next up, we have got World Mobile Token. All right, this is another one that's pretty darn popular within the Cardano ecosystem. And let's see here, we have got a 15-cent coin, and we'll multiply it by 50, and we will go with $7.50. Multiply this bad boy by 250 million. So multiply by 250 million, and we've got a $1.875 billion market cap, all right? So this one, 50x. All right, next up, we've got Dawn Protocol. Dawn Protocol, we got 73 cents. Whoa, that was a huge price shock. That just said 73 cents, like wait, what's going on here? Okay, so this is nuts. So it's up 29%. We are watching this in real time. This is stupid. I don't like this kind of stuff. This is dumb. What is going on here? Is this thing being manipulated as we speak? This is insane. Okay, so realistically here, price is showing me 73 cents, pretty much 74 cents, but then it's going down to 57 cents. So we're just going to kind of take the average of the two here. I've never seen this before on CoinMarketCap in my life. So we'll take 73 cents and we will minus 57 cents. And we're going to take the average of the two. So 73 cents minus 16 cents. So 0.73 minus 16. And the average, oh wait. So no, it would be minus 8. Okay, so 73 minus 8, so 0.73 minus 0.08, and we get roughly a 65-cent coin. Yeah, we're going to go with the average, okay? So 65 cents, because this is dumb. I've never seen anything like this before. This is stupid. So we'll take 65 cents, and we'll go ahead and multiply this by 50. And we get a $32.50 coin. If it did a 50x, all right? Now, let's see here. For its circulating supply, we are at 74 million tokens right now. We'll go with 93 million would be its max supply. For the sake of this video, we'll use 80. So we will take 3250 and multiply it by 80 million. All right, 80 million. And we've got a market cap of roughly $2.6 billion in the long term. So again, a little over half of that $5 billion market cap level, all right? So next up, we have got MadeSafe coin, all right? So MadeSafe coin, let's see here. This is a pretty, this one's been around for a very, very, very long time, you guys. As you guys can clearly see, this one's been around since back in 2014, you guys. This is a dinosaur, all right? This one is a true dinosaur. And what's interesting is it went up very high in the 2018 bull market, and it went up even higher in the 2021 bull market. So this is one of those ones that continues to go higher each bull market, it seems, which is pretty interesting, because a lot of coins usually, they go through their first bull market, and then they never reach that level ever again. They kind of plateau off after that. So realistically, when you see coins like this that continue to make higher highs in each bull market, that's kind of a good thing to see, all right? I'm not saying it'll do that again. I'm just saying that it's pretty interesting to see that it happened 2 times already. So we will take this one at 9 cents and multiply it by 50, and we get a $4.50 coin. And we'll go ahead and multiply this one by its circulating supply of 452 million. We'll just go with 453, just to round off. 453 million, and we get a market cap of roughly $2 billion. So again, underneath that $5 billion market cap. All right, next up, we've got My Neighbor Alice. I need to move a little quicker here because this is starting to get long. My voice is starting to get scratchy. Yeah, and this is the longest video I've ever made, so this kind of sucks. All right, so we'll take $1.31, and we'll go ahead and multiply that by 50. We get a $65.50 coin, all right? And we'll go ahead and multiply this by a circulating supply. Circulating supply right now is 30.6 million, but we'll go ahead with roughly 40 million for the sake of this video. So 40 million, and we get a $2.6 billion market cap, again, underneath that $5 billion market cap level. So that's nice to see. For My Neighbor Alice. Next up, we've got Radium. Again, these last two, Radium and Serum, these last two are within the Solana ecosystem. So these ones, I mean, take them with a grain of salt, okay? If you're a Solana fan, great, awesome, believe in it. If you're not a Solana fan and you think Solana is going to go bust someday, hey, just completely ignore these ones, all right? But I can't ignore them. I can't personally ignore them because they are small cap coins and they are very, very, very popular projects, okay? So we'll take 18 cents and multiply by 50. We get a $9 coin. We go ahead and multiply this by its circulating supply. It's at 158 million right now. We will go with 175 million. 175 million. And we get a market cap of roughly $1.575 billion. All right. So realistically, this one's got the chance to do 50x as well. All right. So lastly, for BNB and other, we've got Serum. Okay. So we'll take 22 cents, multiply by 50. We get an $11 coin. Multiply $11 or $11 coin by, let's see here, its current total supply, or its current circulating supply is 263 million. We'll go with 275 million. So multiply this by 275 million. Holy smokes, this is going to be high. That's roughly a $3 billion market cap. So again, that's underneath the $5 billion market cap, but it is pretty high. But it is a very popular project, as you guys can clearly see. So that is nice to see as well. So that does it for BNB and other, for the BNB and other group. All right. So next up, lastly, you guys, we've got Ethereum and Polkadot projects. All right. So we'll go with Ethereum first. As you guys can see here, first one I've got for you guys is going to be StormX. All right. I personally use this app. I don't know about you, but I personally use it. It's nice getting rewarded for shopping at stores that I already shop at. So, hey, why not, right? So we will take its current price of 0.005, multiply it by 50, and we get a 25-cent coin. All right, we'll go ahead and take this, and we will go ahead and multiply this one by, well, its circulating supply is already at 10 billion. Its max supply is 12.5 billion, so we're just going to use 12.5 billion for, shits and giggles here. So we'll go with 12.5 billion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we get a market cap of roughly $3.125 billion. All right. Now, what's interesting about this one is this is one of those apps, one of those projects that gets used by people on a regular basis in the actual world today. Like I said, you get rewarded in crypto just for shopping at stores that you already shop at. So if a project like this ends up growing in the long term and more shoppers continue to use it and continue to download it, continue to use it on a regular basis, especially as, as crypto adoption happens, more and more in the long term, this one definitely has the potential to reach 50x like this, all right? So next up, we have got Alchemy Pay. All right, this is another popular one that a lot of people love. So we'll take 0.0, well, we're just gonna go with 1 cent because it's pretty much there. So 1 cent, and we'll multiply this by 50, and we got a 50-cent coin. And we will go ahead and multiply by current circulating supply is 5.08 billion. We're going to go with roughly 6 billion for this one. So 6 billion, 1,000 million billion, and we've got a market cap of roughly $3 billion in the long term. So there we go, 50x. All right, next up we've got Jasmy coin. All right, now there's some people who are some of my followers who love this coin and who have been following this coin and have been asking me to do price potentials on this one. So here it is, you guys. So here we go. We've got 0.004. We multiply this by 50, and we got a 20-cent coin, Jasmy coin. We are at a 4.75 billion token market cap right now, or circulating supply. For the sake of this video, we will use roughly a 6 billion coin market, 6 billion coin circulating supply. Whoops, $2.50. And we'll go ahead and multiply that by 6 billion coins. And we get a, no, that can't be right. How did I do that wrong? So we've got a 0.004, multiply that by 50. Oh, it's a 20-cent coin, not a $2.50 coin. So 20-cent coin if it did 50x. That's where I went wrong. Now we multiplied this by 6 billion. All right, so 6 billion. Now that looks right. That looks normal. So we'd have roughly a $1.2 billion market cap, all right? So again, this one definitely has potential to do 50x, especially with how popular this project is. Holy smokes. That is pretty darn popular, not gonna lie. All right, so next up, we are going to talk about Aurora, all right? So Aurora, let's see here. We've got 36 cents, multiply that by 50, and we got an $18 coin, all right? So $18 coin, we go ahead and multiply this by, its max supply is 1,000 million billion, 1 billion tokens. We are at 108 million tokens right now. So for the sake of this video, we will go with 150 million tokens. So 150 million tokens. And we got roughly a $2.7 billion market cap, all right? So this one has a potential, especially in the next bull market, because I don't think this one's seen a bull market yet. Yeah, it really hasn't seen a bull market yet. So this one definitely has some good potential to do those 50x levels, all right? So next up, we have got ArcBlock. ArcBlock, we've got a 10-cent coin. Multiply that by 50, and we got a 5-cent coin, or sorry, a $5 coin. Multiply this by 1,000 million. We are at roughly 100 million here, so we'll go with like 110 million. 110 million. And we get roughly a $550 million market cap. So realistically, this one has potential to go pretty darn high in the long term as well, because we're not even at $1 billion here at 50x. So there we go with ArcBlock. Next up, we've got Veracity. This project is huge. I mean huge. A lot of people love this coin. A lot of people anticipate this coin to do very big numbers in the long term. So let's see here. We've got, we're just going to go with, it's at 2972. We're just going to go with 3. So 003, multiply this by 50, and we get a 15-cent coin, all right? Multiply this by its current circulating supply is 10.3 billion. So we're just going to go with roughly 15 billion here. So multiply by 15 billion. And we get a market cap of roughly $2.25 billion in the long term. So realistically, this one's got potential to do an easy 50x in the long term as well, especially with how popular this one is. So that's nice to see. Next up, we've got Ultra. So we've got a 0.21 cent coin. Multiply that by 50. We get a $10.50 coin. Then we will multiply this by 300, and we'll just go with 320 million tokens. So 320 million tokens. And we get a market cap of roughly $3.36 million, or sorry, billion dollars long term. So again, 50x. All right, next up, we have got Looks Rare. So we've got a 14 cent coin. Multiply that by 50. We got a $7.50 or $7 coin if it did 50x. So we'll go ahead and multiply this by 1,000 million. 500. We'll go with 500 million. So 7 times 500 million, and we get a market cap of roughly $3.5 billion in the long term. This one definitely has potential. It is pretty much an NFT marketplace. It's a pretty popular one as well, and they do offer rewards and stuff for people. So this one definitely has good potential for people to use it long term. As you guys can clearly see, they've had roughly $5.3 million in transactions in just the last 24 hours. So that is very nice to see. So it does get used in a fully fledged bull market. I definitely believe this one could really take off like that. So that's nice to see. All right. So next up, we've got XYO. So XYO, we've got 0.004. Multiply that by 50. We get a 20-cent coin. Go ahead and multiply that by 12.8 billion. 12.8 billion, and what do we got here? We've got a market cap of roughly $2.5 billion long term. So again, it's about a little over half of that, $5 billion level. So that's nice to see. So next up, we've got MetalDAO, or MTL. All right. So we've got 75-cent coin right now. Multiply that by 50. We got a $37.50 coin. Now we'll go ahead and multiply this by its circulating supply of 66. So we're just going to go with 66.6 million just to make it easy. 66.6 million. And we have got a market cap of roughly right under that half level mark of $2.5 billion. All right. So next up, we have got Littentree. I can't say this one right. This is one of those weird words. So anyway, we got 80 cents. Multiply that by 50. And we've got a $40 coin, $40 lit coin. All right. Go ahead and multiply this by 50 million. We're at 39 million right now, but I'm rounding off, and just in case in the long-term future there might be more coins. So I like to be conservative and be safe rather than sorry. So we'll go ahead and multiply it by 50 million tokens, and we get roughly a $2 billion market cap. So realistically, if this one hits long-term, hey, again, easy 50x for sure. All right. So guys, that does it for Ethereum ecosystem type coins. Okay. So lastly, we've got Polkadot ecosystem. All right. Now, Polkadot has some pretty interesting coins here that can really do some pretty big numbers in the long term. So let's check this out. So we've got a 4-cent coin here, 4.5-cent coin. We'll multiply it by 50. And we've got a $2.25 coin if it did 50x, all right? Now we'll go ahead and multiply this by, we'll go ahead and multiply it by 75. We're just going to go with 75 million. So 75 million. And we've got a market cap of roughly $168.7 million. This is a pretty popular project. They are active. They are continuing to build. They are building right now as we speak, so that is nice to see. This one definitely has the potential to really take off in the long term. As you guys can clearly see, it's nowhere near that $1 billion mark. So there we go. That's Polka Bridge, PBR. So next up, we've got Karura. All right. So we got a 22-cent coin. Multiply this by 50. And we've got an $11 coin. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and multiply this by it's already at 75 million tokens. We'll go with 80 million tokens here. So 80 million tokens. We've got an $880 million market cap. All right. So again, that's underneath that even $1 billion market cap here. All right. So definitely 50x for sure there. All right, next up we've got Moon River. This is one of my personal favorites as well, to be honest with you. So we've got an $8.35 coin. We'll multiply by 50, and we got a $417 coin. All right, now we'll go ahead and multiply this by its, we're just going to go with 6 million here. With 6 million and, whoops, one too many. And we got a market cap of roughly $2.5 billion in the long term, okay? So realistically, this one's got that potential as well. So next up, we have got Linear Finance. All right. So we got a 0.006 coin. Multiply this by 50. And we've got a 30-cent coin. And we'll go ahead and multiply this one by, it's at 4.5 billion right now. We'll go with 5 billion. So we'll multiply this by 5 billion tokens. And we've got a $1.5 billion market cap in the long term. All right. So again, another 50x there. All right. So next up, we've got A-Star. A-Star, as you guys can clearly see, it's already got a huge market cap. All right. But let's go ahead and check this out. So realistically, this one's not really a small cap altcoin, but we're going to go ahead and check and see here real quick and see what this was. I don't even know why I put this one in here. Yeah, this is just like those other coins back earlier that I did earlier. I don't know why I put these ones in here that clearly don't have small market caps. Let's check this out though. So we're at pretty much 4 cents. Go ahead and multiply that by 50. We got a $2 coin. We take a $2 coin and we will multiply it by a circulating supply of 4 billion. So, whoops. So a $2 coin multiplied by 4 billion tokens. And we get roughly an $8 billion market cap. Yeah, I don't know why I put this one in here. That's pretty interesting. So realistically, if this one did a 50x, it would have roughly a $8 billion market cap. So realistically, I don't know why I put this one in here, but I don't think this one could reach roughly an $8 billion market cap anytime soon at all. Honestly, I could be wrong because it is clearly a very popular project. I mean, it's ranked in the top 200, actually top 150. So realistically, it could take off out of the middle of nowhere and do some good for some people. So that, I mean, it's got potential clearly, but I don't know if it could go that high, to be honest with you. So realistically, either scratch that or keep in mind that this one could probably only do maybe 20 to 25x instead of 50x, okay? So next up, we have got a Kala token. So we got 11 cents, and we'll go ahead and multiply this one by 50. We got a $5.50 coin, and we've got a circulating supply of 571 million right now. So we'll go ahead and go with roughly 600 million. Why does that keep doing that? 0.11 times 50. $5.50. Okay, multiply by 600 million. There we go, 600 million. We get a market cap of roughly $3.3 billion in the long-term future, all right? So definitely this one could do 50x as well. All right, so next up we have got Efinity token. All right, we got a 0.8 cent coin multiplied by 50, and we get roughly a $4 coin. A very popular token as well. And we will go ahead and multiply the $4, and we will multiply it by roughly, we are at 563 million again for circulating supply. So again, we'll go ahead and multiply by roughly 600 million instead. So 600 million, and we've got a roughly a $2.4 billion market cap in the long-term future, you guys. So overall here, realistically, I mean, like I was saying before, you guys, I'm not saying that these coins are guaranteed to go this high, but we've all seen, some crazy stuff happen in the crypto market before, and a lot of these coins could potentially reach these very high market cap levels in the long-term future, because we've all seen, like the last bull market and the bull market before that, all of these market cap levels, they continue to grow higher and higher and higher in every single one. And if crypto keeps growing and keeps, being adopted more and more like it has been all along, then realistically, in the long-term grand scheme of things, I see no reason why these coins can't reach these levels at some point in time in the long-term future. So, but overall here, you guys, that was a very, very long ass video, and I'm super excited that we're finally over with it. But if you guys have any questions about any of these coins or anything like that, or anything about any of this video, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I love helping people out. I love talking about this stuff. So, hey, don't be shy. Feel free to reach out. But overall here, you guys, that's going to pretty much do it for this one. So I will go ahead and wrap this one up. But again, guys, before you guys leave, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a new crypto and altcoin video from me on a regular basis. And hey, guys, with that said, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the comment section down below of my future videos.